My name is Kehinde Wiley. I'm an artist, and I'm making work that is obsessed with history and engagement with Western European oil painting and its profound impact on the way we see life. The portrait has been used in many ways over the years as a means of communicating power and authority and dominance. What happens now when you start to use that same language on people who weren't necessarily designed to be part of that story? What I'm trying to do is to sort of hack the language of art and use that language of joy and authority and self-possession and allow it to be used on others. The models in my work tend to be individuals that I find in a process that I call street casting. So those people who do say yes are invited to my studio, whereupon I shoot them in the poses of old master paintings. Here I'm trying to take on the authority of gesture, the ways in which people sort of in a very peacockish kind of way fashion their bodies into the language of nobility. So much of what my work does is tries to distill the language of power and authority and respectability into the vocabulary of the portrait. It almost gives you the sense of the mugshot. In a very sort of African-American surveillance ideology, you might start thinking about the mugshot as something that becomes a kind of testament to what it feels like to be black in this country. This idea of being captured in a portrait of a different type, a kind of menacing narrative surrounding the body and confinement. What drew me to this particular painting for the edition was the sense that the portrait is repeated 3 times. As a twin, I'm fascinated with the repetition of the image, the repetition of the self, the idea that the portrait can be telling 3 different stories of an individual. So what portraiture brings up is the question of, is it ever possible to communicate something truly in a 2-dimensional space about an individual? The answer is no. The answer is a constant search. The answer is that there is something there, but is it that person, or is it really just the artist coming to terms with themselves? Working with LITO allowed me to go back into my archive and to sort of rethink paintings that had been done years ago, to rethink color and texture and light. It's a way of kind of being reminiscent of my own career, and in that sense it's a portrait, but it's also self-portraiture, a kind of reanalyzing of the self and the practice and my own sort of response to work that I'd done before. The interplay between technology and art has been something that's been going on for hundreds of years, and this is just part of a grand tradition of artists playing with the leading edge of technology.